Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to field restrictors and how to use them when trying to find statutes on Westlaw by using the word search approach. Westlaw has designated different parts of most documents in the database. These parts are called fields, and you can use them to limit your search to particular parts of the document. The fields available to search are different for different types of documents. For example, the fields for statutes are not the same as the fields for cases. That's why we'll talk about fields again when we cover case law. I will provide a link in the course description to a Westlaw handout about statute fields. Unfortunately, the handout was published in 2009 and the front page is out of date. However, the back page that shows you the different fields in a statute is still accurate. Let's start by looking at that. This is a sample statute on Westlaw, and you can see that it is divided up into its different fields. The field name is to the left, and each field name is followed by an abbreviation, and you need to know that abbreviation to do a search. So the first field is citation. The abbreviation is CI. The second is prelim for preliminaries, and that's basically the breadcrumb that basically shows you where in the code this particular section of the statutes falls. The third is the caption. That's a very short introductory phase. The fourth is the text of the actual statute. This is the language of the statute. Next is the credit. That's the legislative history information, so you could go look up the bill. Next is the historical notes, if you wanted to have a head start on finding legislative history. Following that are the references. These are the cross-references to other research materials. Then the annotations, that's the notes of decisions and the list of annotations from cases. And finally, the citation again. Notice that each one has a two-letter abbreviation. Feel free to experiment with all the fields, but I think there are two that are particularly useful and that I'm going to use to demonstrate how to use fields when searching statutes on Westlaw. Now, these are the two fields I most like to use when searching statutes. First one is caption, and as I showed you, this is the very short line just above the text of the statute. And because it's very short, you have to keep your search in this field very short. You remember from what we just looked at, the caption for that code section was issuance of license. So there's only 3 words in that caption. If you had required a bunch of words in your search, it most likely would not have found it. The other field I like to use is text. And as I mentioned earlier, this is the actual text of the statute. This is what was passed by the legislature. You can use this field to search the language of the statute without also searching the notes of decisions and getting lots of hits that aren't relevant. I don't want to go too far into this until we talk about Boolean or terms and connectors searching, as you'll generally use these two tools, field restrictors and terms and connectors searching, in tandem. So in the next video, I'm going to cover terms and connectors in a very introductory way, and then the very next video after that, I will demonstrate how to use the two tools in tandem. Let me demonstrate a few simple field restriction searches. I am currently in the California statutes, and I want to look for anything that has the word forgery in the caption. So there you can see my search. I'm telling it to search captions, and then in the parentheses I put the word forgery. I run my search, and I have 26 hits. And if we scroll through these a little, you can see that the word forgery is in the caption for each of these. So there's forgery in that one, here's forgery, and so forth. Doesn't matter if it's not in the text itself, it only has to be in the caption. So now let's do the same sort of thing, but let's search text and the word label. Run my search, and I have 660 hits because it doesn't have to be, the word label does not have to be in the caption. It only has to be in the text. So here you can see the caption does not have the word label in it, but the text does. So if I open this one, you'll see that the word label is down here in the text, and it'll be highlighted so you can find it quickly. Now, it will retrieve things that have the word label in the caption too, but only if it has the word label in the text. Suppose you wanted to be a little more sophisticated and look for statutes that have the word forgery in the caption and have the word label in the text. You can do that. So caption, forgery, text, label. Now the word "and" in here is what's called a connector, and in the next video we're going to cover terms and connectors. And after we do that, I'll show you a little more sophisticated searching where you can combine the field restrictors and the terms and connectors. So here, remember we had 660, I think it was, hits when we just searched for the word label in the text. Here we also have to have the word forgery in the caption. So "and" means both of these things must be true. And now you can see I have only 4 hits where the word forgery is in the caption and the word label is in the text.